Pete Hines from Bethesda Softworks, and we're here today to talk about WET. What is WET? WET is short for Wet Works, which is a CIA term that is for operations where your hands are literally going to get wet with blood. We want you as the player to always be shooting, always be taking people out, whether it's with your guns or with your sword, running along walls, jumping, spinning, sliding. It's about comboing together cool moves to take out your enemies and doing it in this cool 70s grindhouse film with the music and the sound effects and all that stuff. You really get that grindhouse feel from the VO work from folks like Eliza Dushku, who voices Ruby, the character that you play, Malcolm McDowell. There is a lot of music in the game, both from Brian LaBarton, who works with Beck, created an original soundtrack for the game that's kind of really cool and hip and funky. And then layered on top of that, or with that, are all of these tracks that we got from indie bands that kind of had this cool rockabilly type sound that fit really well, both with the original soundtrack and with the game. She's got a really good voice and a really good personality that I think helps Ruby's personality come out. She was just a really good fit for the kind of character that we wanted Ruby to be in the game. Bethesda got involved with WET early this year, February, March. So the game was a long ways towards completion by the time that we hooked up with A2M and said, we want to help you guys bring this game out. W. Demetrius, who's the writer off of the 24 seasons, wrote a couple seasons of 24, is the writer of the main quest in WET. So all of these guys, A2M, had gone out on their own and said, these are the kind of folks that we want involved. It's just a game that's got style. It's got, it's fun to play. When they brought it and showed it to us, we all wanted to take a turn with the controller and playing the game. And it's just got it's a good mix of action and combat and storytelling, and we just really liked the kind of game that they were trying to make and felt like there was a place for it, and it was a game that people would want to play because we wanted to play it the moment we saw it. We have never been a focus on a developer versus a publisher. We've always been both for the almost 25 years we've been in business. I think the difference is that the things that we're best known for are our internally developed titles, which we published. But we've been working with external developers for a really long time, and it was just we have continued to look for the right folks to work with, doing the kind of games that we want, and the sort of studios that are able to manage quality on their own. I think a studio like A2M is a great example of that. Really motivated bunch of guys who had a clear vision for the kind of game they wanted to make and didn't need us to come in and say, we don't know what we're doing, please help us. Like, they knew what they wanted to do. We just kind of helped them execute it and get it through to completion. None of those are my games, so I can't really speak to somebody else's titles. If I had to guess, I would say an intelligent guess is that they're not ready. I don't think anybody's trying to time the market or guess when the economy is going to be better or any of that stuff. Our titles are coming out this year that we had planned for this year because they're ready and they're ready to go, and we want to get them in people's hands. So if they weren't ready, we probably would be moving ours too, but we're locked and loaded. WET will be available for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 on September 15th.